We're live. Awesome. Okay, that took a second. We're only 2 minutes late. So,
Hey guys.
pretty exciting. Good to see all of you. You might want to have your questions pulled up so we can interact with them. So we've been doing live a lot more. We're excited to see all of you. Click thumbs up if you're enjoying the video. Hey, Mystic18, Just Flip, Angel Bellow, all of you guys first. No, you're not first. You got beat, but I admire the effort. I think that's great. Hi, I was just thinking of the show. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're thinking of us. We're so happy that you guys are here. Alpha Centauri is hanging out with me today. A lot of you have been requesting.
Come here, Alpha. Over here. Come around here. This way.
He's really focused on his ball.
Come on. He's right here.
Abhi, hello. I said your name. You asked me to say your name. I said so.
Want it?
You guys are great. So there's Alpha Centauri. You can see he cares about nothing but a ball.
Get it.
By the way, that's Alpha Centauri behind me. He's the dog in the painting. He's like 12 now, and as you can see, he's pretty ball obsessed.
Yes, he loves balls. It's true.
It's so good to see all of you guys. Wow, we've got a great crowd here. I've got a new video blog going live in about a half an hour, so I'm continuing this tradition of hanging out with you guys. Here, Bree, get in the camera. Look at this beautiful face. Everyone wants to see that.
You guys like my shirt? I like it.
Ask me about my dog. Well, you asked for it.
I know.
But I've got a new video coming out in 30 minutes. Just a fun video, hanging out with Rue. Okay, all right, get it. Oh, jeez. Did you hear his teeth snapping at the ball?
He's
Good
a
job.
grabber. It's true.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, you know what? I need to update the description. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm happy to take your questions. I'll start here. How many dogs do I have? We have 3 dogs between us. Bree has her dog Indiana Jones. I have Alpha Centauri and Supernova. And yeah.
My dog ran away. What can I do? That's sad. That's so scary when your dog runs away. But we have made a video with some advice that will hopefully help you find your dog. Do you know the title of it?
How to make sure you never lose your dog, probably.
Yeah, or how to find your lost dog or something like that.
Yeah, I am sorry to hear that. That is...
Good luck. It is possible to find them again. My dog Indy ran away, and I found her again after a long time, about a month and a half. So that was before I knew Zach. All right. What else? How's Indy? Indy's great. How would I train a 10-week-old Cocker Spaniel to fetch?
I would recommend you see my video on teaching your dog to fetch. How old is the dog?
10 weeks.
10 weeks old is, let me turn that down. 10 weeks old is pretty young, but start with tug and let go. Most people throw a toy when they're trying to teach fetch, which is intuitive and it seems like it would work, but that's not actually the best way to go. You want to teach your dog tug and let go and then gradually extend the game. Guys, I'm just trying to update the description here, but Bree, go ahead and take the next question.
Okay, I was just cuddling Alpha. How do you get a dog to pee in the snow? I can see how that would be cold. Well, you know, the grass goes away suddenly and it's covered in frozen ice, and I bet puppies are like, wait a minute, I used to pee on grass. What do you think?
I think just giving them time and the opportunity to do so. I know, I have experienced that with my own dogs. It's been so many years since I've experienced snow here in New Orleans. But yeah, even in Atlanta, it was pretty uncommon. So there you go. Can you hear that giant border collie rushing through the house to chase a ball?
Alpha is the world's biggest border collie.
He's giant.
I've considered submitting him to find out if he really is.
I know, right?
He's a big boy.
I agree. Yeah, there's Alpha right there. Look, guys.
Alpha, here, say hi. There he is.
There's my good boy.
There's Alpha.
Look at him. Is that cute or what?
So handsome.
Click thumbs up if you think he's cute.
Thumbs up for Alpha. Wow, are we the stereotypical parents right now or what?
I mean, look, it's just, he's so, anything for a ball. He cares nothing. I'd love to say that he cares about all of you guys, but honestly,
I'm just holding this ball right here.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, it never gets old.
Stay.
Alpha's getting up there too. I don't know if he'll do it for you.
He won't. He does this for
It takes
Zach.
a touch.
Alpha, stay.
It takes a touch to get him to balance that ball.
You want to try?
Sure. Yeah. You go ahead and hold the camera, and I'll go ahead and balance the ball on his head.
Whoa, microphone. All right.
All right, come here. Come here. This way, a little bit closer. Sit. Good job. All right, stay. Tennis ball's a little delicate. Oh, look, let me line them up a little bit.
You can use my glass if you would prefer.
Wait, don't move. Wait.
Oh!
I was just about to tell him to get it. Sometimes he catches it, sometimes he doesn't, but that was super cute. What'd you guys think of that? I know.
All right.
Hey, I tell you what, give me a speak. He's like, are you sure we're inside? Speak. Good job, buddy. You're doing so good.
Yes.
All right.
Alpha,
nice
you
work.
took my spot. I got to get back here so I can find some people's questions now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So was that fun? Or did you just wish that we were answering your questions the whole time?
Well, judging by the drop-off in our view count, I think they were more interested in having their questions answered on that one, maybe.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know. Hey, we're just trying. But yeah, so the video that we've got coming out today, it's basically, I'm going to be answering a ton of your questions, and I will be trying to help you out. We're taking actually a lot of questions in that video. I'm just trying to give you guys more videos so that you have more help. We're also working with Rue the puppy, world's cutest puppy in the video a little bit.
Oh, guys, he's so cute.
Yep.
He's really cute. So a few people are asking, how can I teach my dog to do that?
How to do what?
Balance a tennis ball like Alpha just did.
That's a good question. Lots of practice, I would say, but...
Yeah, it seems like when I watch you do it, it's not just about balancing the ball, but you're also have your hand under his chin, like getting his head
you gotta
right.
get him just right there. And you know, you need a patient dog who's really focused. So number one, look at me and stay, and teaching your dog to really hold a position, which comes with a lot of practice because most dogs are not gonna be that still. But fortunately, Alpha Centauri is hyper-focused.
All right, we got a super chat, but it looks like it's just a donation
Oh,
from
thanks.
What's Up, It's G, PS4. Thank you.
What's up? It's GPS4. Awesome. Thank you very much. You guys are so complimentary. I'm reading the comments here. We have another super chat. I'll take that.
This one's from No or Noe. I give my puppy a treat when I call her, and she comes. Is this okay?
Yes.
I guess, is it okay to keep giving her treats, maybe?
I mean, I think especially with a potentially life-saving skill like come when called, it's really a good idea to reinforce that often. Of course, you don't want to have to rely on treats when you're teaching something like come when called, but didn't they say her dog was a puppy? So, yeah, I mean, puppies, yes, you want to reinforce that more than not with either playtime or a treat. In other words, you want them thinking in their brain every single time I come to mom or dad, then I get something great, or, you know, life is fun or whatever. And the more that you can really instill that in them at a young age, the more likely it is that they'll come back. Now, with puppies, they're going to come to you a lot more easy when they're, or a lot more willingly, I should say, when they're under like 5 months of age or so, because they're so clingy when they're younger. However, don't assume that if your puppy comes to you reliably and they're 3 or 4 months old that, hey, they're really excelling. They might be, but it'll get worse before it gets better. So what I'm saying is don't let your guard down. Really good question.
How do I stop my puppy from eating his puppy mat?
Well, that's a destructive chewing question, I would say. And actually, we're going to be addressing that in the video coming out in 20 minutes now. So one of the questions I'll be taking has to do with puppy chewing, but bottom line, supervision is really important. Redirecting them, not leaving them alone with the mat when you can't supervise them until you're comfortable that they will not chew the puppy mat in your presence for several weeks to months, depending on the severity of the issue.
Robert and Jennifer would both like help with barking at strangers.
Good luck. I know, that's a tough one.
No answer that.
I know, barking at strangers, I know, exactly, it can be challenging. Well, the thing about barking at strangers is that often has to do with a dog not being used to seeing strangers. So socialization, desensitizing them and exposing them to lots of people over a sustained period of time so that being around strangers isn't such an unusual occurrence for them will go a long way. And in order to give you some traction in the beginning, be sure to get their energy out of them just before, say, going to the park to get them used to hanging out. See, a big part of getting your dog to listen to you in public is just existing in public with them without having a high bar and explaining to them that they've got to do tons and tons of different things all the time. So with my own dogs, it worked out well. I used to play Frisbee with them every morning because we were doing competitive dog Frisbee contests at the time. And, you know, we would just be at a park, so they were just like, this is normal. So just really being in public is a great way to reduce not only barking, but all types of unwanted behavior because they're just like, hey, it's as normal as being at home.
Camilla says, my Bernese puppy eats his poop. What can I do?
Gross! Why is your puppy eating his poop?
Because that's what puppies do.
Yeah, that's called coprophagia. That's a really common thing with puppies in particular. If it makes you feel any better, Alpha, I'll try not to tell on you, but he used to do that when he was younger. my dog, for those of you just tuning in, I got Alpha Centauri over here who's rolling around on his back right now, being ridiculous. So how do you teach your dog to stop eating poop? Sorry. The way to do that is to supervise them. That really falls under the real life leave it training. I think you should see my recent video on teaching your dog how to leave things alone spontaneously under controlled settings when you are prepared to dedicate time. But too often we let our puppies out in the backyard without a leash, without a long lead, and they just, they get into what they're going to get into. And by the time they got it in their mouth, whether it's a chicken bone or poop, it's too late to get to them. So that really falls under keeping control of their environment. I know that seems tough to do, but you got to really go out of your way to do that. And a lot of you are going to just jump on me for this, but retractable leashes can be a great way for that. Now, I'm not advising that you use a retractable leash on a dog that is not trained, but I do find that one advantage to retractable leashes is going in your backyard to let them roam around and sniff. Well, it's a good combination of giving them some freedom while being in control of the situation, because you can still see it coming. So yeah, I don't think, I'm one of the few dog trainers in this world that doesn't think retractable leashes are terrible for all situations, but they are terrible for a lot of situations. So I'm happy to expand on that if you want me to make a video about that. Just tell me in the comments below.
Alpha's being so weird. Julio says, how do I teach my 10-week-old mini golden doodle to stop peeing on the floor and pee on the pad instead?
How old is this dog?
10 weeks.
Oh, 10 weeks old. Yeah, potty training a dog can just take months and months in some cases. Some dogs potty train really easily, and others are just like, I don't get it. Why would I go out there when I can go in here, right? If you're trying to get your dog to go on potty pads for some reason, I generally discourage potty pads unless you need to do that, but create a big potty pad area. Don't just use one of the potty pads. Give them an oversized area to go on so they can really get used to that. That seems to help a lot of people. It's not reasonable to expect them to go in a tiny area. Contrary to what people might say or how they're marketed, I don't think potty pads are innately intuitive for dogs to go on. So you have to give them a giant target to where they can't really go anywhere but the potty pads, if that makes sense.
How do I get my puppy's attention when they see another dog? From Vic.
Oh, yes, I know. It's so hard to get our dog's attention on us when they see another dog sometimes. And that really does come down to practice. It's kind of a similar answer that I gave a little while ago when we were just talking, but it really comes down to practice and exposing them to lots of dogs. One way to practice this might be to go to your local dog park, but not inside the dog park, outside of the dog park, a fenced one. That is, and try to work with your dog at, say, I don't know, 50 yards or 50 meters away, just working on sit, stay, look at me, all the basic stuff. So there's dogs in the distance, and you're able to just work on your obedience with them in that case. Does that make sense? And then gradually work up to being able to do those exercises closer to the dogs. And then eventually while you're on a walk and a dog surprises you, and you can get examples of that in many of my leash walking videos. For those of you just joining us, we have a video going live in just a few minutes. It's gonna be about 15 minutes. Just a fun little video blog we made. I'll be answering tons of your questions in it. You'll see Rue and kind of what life is like after we get done with a shoot. And so that'll be...
You guys do not have to pay to get your questions answered. Just to be clear, I see a few people wondering that in the comments. We do our best to prioritize the people who are paying for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But you do not have to. And we also can't guarantee that we're going to answer every single super chat, although we're doing our best. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, we'll take the next super chat right now. These are great questions. You guys are doing well. By the way, if you like these live broadcasts, I'm still on the fence about whether or not to continue them, but click thumbs up.
How do I get my 7-year-old dog apartment trained?
Okay, I guess apartment trained is similar to house trained. I'm going to be taking a question like that on the video coming up, actually. But apartment trained meaning...
Her dog is 7. Maybe they didn't used to live in an apartment, and so they had a yard. Maybe now they don't, or something.
Well, I mean, I think just general training is probably the answer here. If your dog is behaving in the apartment and being too hyper, then make sure you prioritize exercise early. Supervision is key. Make sure you're controlling the environment. Don't give your dog access to the entire apartment at any given time. And just general training. In the description of this video, hopefully it's posted, I'll have a link to my playlist, which will show you how to teach your dog all of the basics in order and beyond. It's the most popular dog training playlist in the world.
How do you motivate an unmotivated dog when treats and toys don't work?
Oh, that's so interesting. Very often when people ask, who asked that question, do you know?
Della's Canine Connection.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very often when treats or toys aren't doing the trick, this means a couple of things. Either you've got a real low energy dog and they're just like, that's all nice, but I really don't feel like working, It's a lot like people. Some people were just not really motivated, you know what I mean? Or it could be that you're not using great treats. Sometimes we try to use milk bones or treats that aren't great for the dog in terms of the palatability. So try increasing the quality of the reward as well, and accept your dog for who they are and their individual personality. Fantastic question.
Miranda wants help with helping her 10-month-old American Bulldog with nighttime anxiety. She says he gets plenty of scheduled activity throughout the day.
That's wonderful. I love to hear that. So as you know, exercise is one of the best way to reduce types of anxiety, so I'm glad that you're doing that. I would hope that you're continuing to see gradual progress on this issue. That's usually how it goes, but with heavy anxiety, it typically takes time for it to really subside. So you're just looking for small bits. And to be honest with you, for many dogs, it may never completely go away. It's one of those things you're just trying to reduce, but it's very asymptotic for many dogs too. So as far as things to do, exercise during the day, reassure them, do some counter conditioning. So if it's the lack of light that is promoting the anxiety, rapid fire tiny pieces of chicken at your dog outside as the sun is setting and just really get them comfortable. The idea is to get them to associate darkness with whatever it is they love very much. So for my dogs, I might try getting them to play fetch in the dark if that was an issue for them. So now they think, hey, when it's dark, we play fetch. Not a quick fix. I do have a video coming out that will go over some counter conditioning in more detail as well too. Great question.
David says, I have to leave my 5-month-old puppy alone for a long time due to work. Should I get a second dog so that he's not lonely?
Good question. The answer is no to that in general. It's our responsibility to make sure our dogs are stimulated mentally and physically, and while it might seem like another dog might keep them company, more likely it's just you're going to have 2 bored dogs. Because dogs, as much as they love playing with each other, we have to remember that dogs were specifically created to interact with and take direction from people. So it's really when they're with people that they seem to be most content and fulfilled. Though, I mean, obviously they love playing with dogs too. But I'd say once life settles down a little bit, maybe consider another dog at that point and perhaps get up a little bit earlier before you leave to exercise your dog so he's more content while you do leave, and maybe 2 of those 5 hours he'll be sleeping. 5 hours isn't that bad though. Didn't he say 5 hours?
No, he said 8 to his puppy's 5 months.
Okay, 5 months, I see. Sorry. Okay, yeah, what's up? Guys, you guys are asking such fantastic questions. Again, if you like these live broadcasts, click thumbs up so I know it. Continue with your questions. And by the way, all the money we're getting from the Super Chats will go to our production because we have plenty of expenses, but you guys help us a lot with that between this and Patreon. I have a link to my Patreon in the description. Go ahead.
Our Mastiff puppy can be super indifferent when you give the come command. Often, even high-value treats don't work. How do I get her more motivated? That's similar to...
Yeah, that really is similar. I know when we have so many, a lack of motivated dogs out there, you need to let each dog go at their own pace. And I've worked with many a lazy Mastiff before, and some high-energy ones. They do exist, believe it or not. Shorten the distance. In other words, you want to teach them come when called outside from a really short distance, get them super used to doing that, gradually extend the distance as well that you do that. What else can we do? Take advantage of times when they're hungry or peppy to engage them in training. So maybe not towards the end of the day, maybe not after work, maybe at a time in the day when they have the most energy so that you can try to get that. Look for other currencies. Maybe your dog has an unconventional currency that they like. Maybe it's not food. Could be play. Could be a cat feather duster or something like that. I mean, or balloon. I don't know. There's all sorts of crazy unconventional currencies. So brainstorm. Ask yourself, what does my dog love more than anything in the world? And try to use that to break new ground. I think that's a great question.
Yes.
Every question's a good question.
How do I stop my puppy from guarding his toys and being aggressive when I try to take them?
Okay, so that's a resource guarding question, and you know, it's a spectrum because there are variations in how severe that can be, but generally some counter conditioning exercises. I actually detail this. If you happen to have a copy of my book, I have a nice bit on resource guarding, which will really walk you through those steps, and of course we'll get some videos out on that in the future too. But the bottom line really is, as your dog is chewing on that bone and guarding it, maybe drop bits of chicken near the bone. Most likely, they're probably going to want to go and investigate the chicken, at which time, you know, you say great. And as you feel more confident, and again, you feel like your dog isn't likely to bite you in this case, you know, touch the bone, drop the chicken. So they're like, hey, you touched the bone, but some chicken came out. I'm okay with you touching the bone. And then work up to being able to pick up the bone and then give it right back to them. So let them know, just because I'm taking this from you doesn't mean I'm not going to give it right back to you. But make sure you have something that your dog loves even more than the bone or the toy that they're chewing on to exchange that for until eventually they get it. You know?
Okay, we're going to try to run through 3 of them real fast here. This one is not a super chat, by the way.
Okay.
How do we correct our 10-week-old golden retriever to stop jumping on our 2-year-old son?
Oh, that's a good question. So if you've got kids, especially if you got 2 years old, your bottom line, your dog, your golden retriever cannot be in a position to jump on your 2-year-old. You'll know that if you watch a lot of my videos, I recommend that during those first many months of training, you have puppies on leash and attached to you. You can't reason with a 2-year-old, and you can't really reason, I mean, you know what I mean, with a puppy. I'll stick to what I know. You can't reason with a puppy that easily when they're that young and they're that excited. So you have to teach them how to sit. And a mistake a lot of people make is they try to tell their kids, hey, tell the puppy to sit and do all this. No, you're the adult. Your responsibility to get in there, intervene, and make sure you've got control over your dog. Good question, though.
All right, Hascard wants to know, how do I exercise my high-energy, aggressively playing apartment living dog with only an open off-leash dog park available and the other owners are nervous?
I mean, that's the thing. You have to, when you take on the responsibility of having a high-energy dog in your life, you can't just say, oh, there's only one place for me to go play with my dog. You need to find other places. With my own dogs, because I had 3 off-leash dogs that were super high energy for most of the past decade. And, you know, I mean, I would go to a park. Sometimes dogs weren't allowed at the park, but, you know, I'd go during pre-dawn hours just to get out there and play Frisbee with them and work with them, fenced areas. Sometimes I'd have to break into them. Other times I'd find, you know, where they'd allow them and nobody was there. But you might have to really think outside the box in terms of finding places that you can exercise your dog. It may not be reasonable to, it's not even generally a good idea to play fetch around other dogs because other dogs are going to chase. You could have an incident. You really want to have a nice area with as few distractions as possible.
Please help me with my husky who howls frequently and annoys my neighbors.
Okay, so if the dog is vocalizing while you're not present, then the only thing I know to tell you to do is to exercise your dog before leaving the house, right? And really take advantage of times to show your dog how to behave when you are at home and they start vocalizing. Another tip might be to have really good chew toys or a Kong toy or something that's really likely to keep their attention. But exercise is by far the best thing. If you can get a ton of that energy out just before leaving, then they're likely to sleep for 1 or 2 of those hours and just feel like more content and not necessarily have the need to vocalize. But we do have a new product, which I'm excited about. It's one of our new sponsors that might be helping with this, a dog camera, and there's some other cool stuff it does.
So Elena asked us about how much food to feed her 6-month-old puppy, but I think that may be a vet question.
Yeah, I would talk to your vet about any dietary questions because every dog has unique dietary needs. But, you know, if you are going to feed a dog food, make sure it's a high-quality dog food. Look for a quality protein as the first ingredient. You know, avoid foods with animal byproducts and things like that. Or you could consider even, you know, human-grade food for many dogs. So that's something to consider, too, if you don't want to use dog food.
Thank you so much for helping me train my Australian Shepherd. He's 5.5 months old and an amazing companion. Soon we begin canine SNR training with local authorities.
Oh, search and rescue? Yeah.
Very cool.
That is very cool. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
Keep up the good work.
And A. Lion says, hey, Zach, my 10-month-old female Norwegian elk hound seems depressed since I adopted a 2-year-old from the shelter. Even though she likes him and they are buddies, she seems depressed.
Yeah, anytime you bring a new dog or you move or a new family member moves in, dogs are incredibly complex animals, just like we are, in terms of they understand major life changes, and that can affect them in different ways, much like it can with people. So if you do bring a new dog into your life, this is for all of you, be prepared for a significant reaction from your dog. It could be a great reaction, it could be a neutral reaction, or a not so good reaction. So anytime we change a major variable in a dog's life, we can expect them to register that and react to it. Did I answer the question?
I think so.
Good.
Are you going to make any videos about training a dog to be a guard dog?
You know, so guard dogs, as I understand it, right, a watchdog is a dog that will alert you when there's someone on the property by barking. I'm all for that, right? And a guard dog is a dog that will attack someone if they're on your property. Now, I have no problems with the sport of Schutzhund, where, you know, you do it as a sport, and as long as you're using positive training methods. Unfortunately, that sport is dominated by shot collar trainers, which I would love to see change. But I actually think the sport's a pretty cool thing for recreation. But I don't think it's our dog's responsibility to attack people. And so I discourage thinking of our dogs in that way. But you know, many of your dogs are going to protect you whether you train them to do it or not. I know certainly in Indiana's case, she ain't going to tolerate anyone messing with her mom. My dogs,
I didn't teach her to do that.
Yeah,
she
I know.
Just does it.
I know. But you know, usually I think having a dog bark and vocalize when people are on the property is probably the more ideal way to think about it. And, you know, have a good security system as well, and things like that. But I don't intend to actually show people how to attack real world people. But, you know, hey, maybe we'll do some more Schutzhund training on this channel in the future, because it's cool. It can be. Yep.
Yeah, it looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I know. Playing tug of war with a person?
Yeah, Indy would love it.
I know she would.
Let's see. Oh my gosh.
We got a good crowd
pouring
here.
in. You guys are pouring in so fast.
Oh, I
And
know.
it's 10:58. We're getting close to video.
Yeah, my
time.
video is going to be going live soon, but hey, maybe we'll go long here because I'm enjoying this more maybe than posting the video. But I still want all of you, when that video goes live, I'm hoping you'll go over there and you'll watch it and you'll click thumbs up and you'll leave comments on it, because the good thing about leaving comments on my new video is that they stay there. Once this video is done, it's likely not staying up. I don't know, or maybe it will. I'll see how I feel about it.
Haven't been leaving them up.
But by leaving comments on the new video, I'm more likely to see your comment. And of course, I'm not going to get to all of them, so don't give me too hard a time.
Come over here. Come say hi.
I know the
I want
camera
Alpha to
angle.
come say hi again.
Our camera angle is so narrow; it's hard to get three
He's
subjects
just so
in
cute.
here.
Come here, Alpha. Come here.
But yeah, these are great questions. So no more super chats. Did we answer those two up there?
We did. One of them is just a donation from Alex. Thank you so much.
Alex, thank you for the donation. Anyone else that we need to acknowledge?
No, we have acknowledged them.
Fantastic. You guys, I really appreciate those donations that you give us. What we do with those donations is it goes towards things like paying people. It goes towards, you know, equipment that we need. That also, you know, Patreon helps for a lot of that. In terms of how much we actually spend, probably too much on our production, but this is my passion in life. So that's why we're always looking for ways to raise money to really take our production to the next level, because the most important thing is that people have the information they need in order to really teach their dogs.
Yes, we want our videos to look great for you guys.
We just got a pledge on Patreon from Jane. I don't know if you're watching this, Jane, or if you're from another video and just happened to coincidentally make a contribution.
Thanks, Jane.
So thank you for that. We appreciate that.
I see a lot of people asking about BB-8 again. BB-8 is not our dog. He's a friend's dog.
I know. It's cool. I really sold the public on him being my dog somehow accidentally.
And they're like, where is he? Why don't you ever talk about him? Why do you neglect that dog? But he's just not ours.
Yeah, I know. It's 11 o'clock now. Hey, you guys go over there and go on my channel and tell me if the video is live yet with Rue the puppy.
Whoa.
And that will, and click thumbs up and leave comments over there. I'm going to stick with you though here for another few minutes.
Do you guys see this? He's smashing his nose against my face.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't he the cutest?
I know.
I love you, Alpha.
He is such a sweet dog, guys. Honestly, he's the sweetest dog ever. Please answer me, Melly Martinez. Hi, Melly Martinez. I'm answering you. This is incredible. Live technology. I mean, who'd have thought? So as far as the future of what we're doing, I've got tons of videos lined up to go out. I'm also really prioritizing making more bonus content, like the video you're about to see that literally just went live on my channel. So you can still check that out with Rue the puppy. It's sponsor free too, so I'm bringing you more content that's brought to you by our patrons to try and build up that community.
Do you want another question?
Sure, I'll take another question.
I just noticed a random one. Andrew asked about, he said he's trying to teach his dog to run with him, but his dog thinks he's playing every time he runs. Which is funny to imagine.
Yes, well that's right, that's normal. Yeah, and that just comes down to not waiting until it's time to take a run. I want to get that question too.
All right.
But wait, you don't want to wait until it's time to go on a run. So you want to go in your backyard, be able to work up to run 2 steps, and then reward him with either a treat or some tug time toy, and you should see the behavior start to evolve. Go ahead. This is our last super chat question that I'm going to take. So if you do donate, I'm not going to get your question.
It's a car sickness question.
Okay.
My 4.5-month-old Doberman gets very drooly in the car, like a waterfall. She doesn't show signs of stress or being scared, but recently she vomited.
Yeah.
The vet recommends Benadryl, but we go on outings often.
So this is normal. I mean, young puppies being in an artificial vehicle that moves and sways is likely to encourage motion sickness. A lot of dogs have this, especially when they're puppy. I wouldn't worry too much about this. The answer is continue to work with your dog in the car and short rides to happy places so that your dog gets their sea legs and gets used to being in a car, I would say a little bit more. But it's very normal behavior.
I want to answer this super chat too from Kayla because I like this question.
Okay.
How do you feel about ear cropping or tail docking? I want to get a Doberman in the future and I do prefer the cropped look, but I don't know if I should do it.
Yeah, I'm against cropping dogs' ears and docking their tails in most cases, unless there's a medical reason to do it that I'm not thinking of because I'm not a vet. But purely for cosmetic look, nah, that's old school. And I would strongly discourage it because it's unpleasant to the dog and it serves no real purpose to do so. So
and
yeah.
Natural ears are cute.
Oh, natural ears are way cuter. I agree, but that's personal preference. Sure. Good question. Thank you for asking about that. Really good questions, guys. I'm sticking with you here because I'm curious to know how my YouTube channel is affected by having a brand new upload, which is live. I'm looking at my real-time stats right now, and how it's affected while going live at the same time. If you haven't, go over to that video and click thumbs up on it. That will help the video do well. I mean, if you want to. Don't do it if you don't. I want you to feel happy and not pressured into doing anything here.
I had a giant border collie step on my computer, so I got lost my place in the comments.
Oh, right.
Sorry, guys.
I know. He's so pushy.
He is.
So pushy. Look at him. There he is. Look at my man. Oh, Alpha, you're the best. What are you? Are you 13 yet? He's either 12 or 13. Jeez. But yeah. So those are wonderful, wonderful questions here. I think I am going to let you guys go now. But it's been a great chat. We'll continue to do this more. Go watch my new video. It is live right now. I want to thank all of you for your super chats and your Patreon support and everything. Anything else you want to say?
Are we going live anywhere else?
I don't think we're going to go
Sometimes we
live
do.
anywhere else because we have a couple of videos to plan for. But these are wonderful questions, and we'll continue it. Thank you, guys. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.